Just about set.
Fire!
Racing. And at the ready, the stay was a little bit slow, and also going back at the start, Early Sun and Jaspara. Ominous Warning at the end of 200 has gone to the front. Lord Ludlow's running second. Going up on the outside is King of Woo, and then came Kostya Zilches over on the inside. Prying Tom has been well backed, is getting a pretty nice run, and then came Russian River, who has caught a shade wide and drifted back to be one off the fence now. And then came well back in the field Schooner. Missile Launch has settled back third. Last would be 7 away from the early leader, Ominous Warning. 2.5 away is on the outside Early Sun, then Jaspara. And last of all is At the Ready and would be 12 to 15 off the leader. Ominous Warning going along at an even tempo. Leads by 1.5. King of Woo moved up on the outside and went to second at the 800. Lord Ludlow is down on the inside. And there's Russian River moving forward around Prying Tom, and also Kostya Zilch, and then Missile Launch is on a move now. Then came Schooner. Well back is Jaspara inside of Early Sun, and 2 away back last is At the Ready. Coming up towards a home turn. Ominous Warning leads by 3/4 to King of Woo. Lord Ludlow's on the inside. Russian River has tramped a little bit wide for the last 800 metres. He moves up on the outside. Missile Launch is taken out wider. Prying Tom is trying to come through in the centre, and Kostya Zilch is back on the inside. Here's Russian River and Missile Launch, and they make their runs together, but Missile Launch has raced up and hit the front. Lord Ludlow tries to go with it. Prying Tom running on with Schooner, but it's all Missile Launch. This is a classy galloper, and Missile Launch comes away to win it well. Missile Launch by 3.5 to Lord Ludlow. Photo third. Prying Tom, Schooner have hit it together. It might be Prying Tom and no Schooner, but very close. Then Russian River, followed by Ominous Warning, Kostya Zilch, King of Woo, At the Ready, Jaspara and Early Sun. Big win. Monster horse. Missile Launch defies a betting drift here. Number 7, $4.160. Lord Ludlow at $3.50. Photo third. Prying Tom and Schooner have hit it together. And that's been a big win by Missile Launch. He's a very promising galloper. Another one for Vaughan Sigley. Of course, Vaughan had Bart for so long and with so much success. Lord Ludlow a clear second. Prying Tom, I fancy, will hold third just in front of Schooner. And it was well back to Prying Tom. Those each way punters will be happy. It's snuck home for third. 7, 3, 9 and 6. 7, 3, 9 and 6. 136.41. 136.41 is a good run. Good solid run. The track is pretty firm today. $4.160. $3.50 Lord Ludlow, which was spec to the market, battled on well after racing on speed. And considering where some of the other leaders ran, that's been a pretty fine effort by Lord Ludlow. But a Missile Launch, this is quite a classy conveyance by Smart Missile. And despite beating inferior opposition at its last start only by, well, first up 3/4 and then again a 3/4 length margin on both occasions, it really swallowed up the leaders, and stepping up to 1600 just relished it. Maybe wobbled a touch around the corner, but apart from that, outstanding. And we're going to find out a little bit more as we go downstairs with Gareth and Vaughan.
Yes, thanks for that, Richie. That is exciting. 5 starts now for 3 wins for this big fella, Missile Launch, and that was impressive. Comes to town on a Saturday afternoon and blows them away.
Yeah, no, it's good. Good feeling.
How good can he be? You've trained many a good horse. We all know that. Highlighted, of course, by Blackheart Bar. But this fella, he just continues to, every time we see him at the races, he just gets better.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with him, and a big boy, and we expect him to keep on improving. So we think probably he'll get a little bit more ground at the same time. So. And
for a big horse, he's such an athletic horse as well. He just covers the ground so easily.
He does. I mean, his first up one, everyone thought, oh, just look how green he is, but it's probably just it was probably more so the distance at the same time. You know, he just needs to be able to get up and find the bit a bit and get into his own routine, and you can see he's done that quite well. So, yeah, hopefully he can keep on improving for us, and we just keep him sound and healthy.
How many more starts do you give him this preparation?
I'm not sure, mate. He'll just let us know. Like we were looking at trying to get him over a little bit more ground. He's obviously a West speeder, and the 1800s I think will be right up his alley. So I don't know how many more of those they've got on, but I don't think they've got enough of them on. We need a few more for some of these horses that are getting over a little bit of ground, 1800s and that, and I think they might be running out of them races here. So if anyone's listening, I think you should be putting a couple more on.
And he's such a big horse, soundness-wise. Is he easy to keep on track?
Oh, look, he's great to do everything with. He had a little bit of a foot issue through the week. We didn't gallop him this week. And so we've only just floated him here today for this race. So it was half a concern there, but he was fine, and obviously he's gone out and got through it.
Might be trying to tell you something, Vaughan. Don't gallop me. Just give me, just let me turn up race day.
Yeah, no, that's all right. He just had a little bit of a sore heel, and being such a big horse and that, and you get a lot of weight coming down on those legs. So you know, it was sort of like a little concern, but obviously he's come through it good.
You found another one. Good one.
Thank you.
There we go. There's Vaughan Sigley there, Matty, and that was a brilliant performance by Missile Launch, defeating Lord Ludlow and Prying Tom, the horse that they backed at a bit of a price back in third. Schooner was fourth.
Certainly soaking in this win is this big fella. He's, I think, almost done another lap of the course. It's taken him a good 6 hours to get back into the mounting yard, but that's a double for Patrick Carberry after he got home Retisona in the first event. Touched on it after that win that he spoke to the Perth Racing podcast during the week, and that he thought that girl might surprise. He told us that this boy was certainly a ride he was looking forward to, perhaps not so much in the same sense as Poonamoo in the next event, but was certainly keen to jump back aboard him, and we've just seen why. That was impressive.
A double to Patrick Carberry today, and I tell you what, after his career, I think you make a good police horse too, the big fella. I think everyone would be getting out of his way if he does take that up as a career after his racing time. But that was impressive. And Pat Carberry, he rides this track so well at Ascot, and he's a man in form. Obviously, he won that big Group 1 a couple of weeks ago on the Kingston Town with one of his favourites in Poonamoo, and he salutes here on a couple of occasions now in preparation for the big feature at Weight for Age, which is our next race here at Ascot. But Patrick will jump on those scales. You'll be given the all clear, hopefully, by Mr. Brad Lewis, and then he'll be catching up with our very own Matty Kelly to get his thoughts on this big horse, Missile Launch, that just continues to win races and step up to the plate, Matty.
A nice win, Paddy. He's now 3 wins from 5 starts. Vaughan said pre-race that he's looking forward to seeing what he could do in 6 months' time. He's already doing plenty at the minute.
Yeah, totally agree with what Vaughan's saying. We've always thought, you know, the best is ahead, sort of down the track. It's good when they're winning like that and they're still learning. He's very big horse and very raw. He jumped well and got into a nice rhythm early, and the pace was pretty genuine. Sort of got off into the 3 wide line just before the 600. I was following, which I thought was one of the ones to beat, and he was just travelling really nice, and you know, just give him plenty of galloping room, and he let down really well. He was actually looking around a bit in the straight and floating around and sort of laid in a little bit, but yeah, I think he's a nice horse in the making.
And the way it was won as well must give you a little extra shot of confidence with Poonamoo, probably to, if winning, to be winning in a similar vein.
Well, we'll just worry about, you know, collect our thoughts, and just got to get him to switch off and get into a happy rhythm. I think he'll switch off well. It doesn't look like to be much speed in it, but it's only a small field, and I mean, they can be quite tricky, but I know the horse is going well, and he's in good form, so hopefully he can do it for us.
A nice way to go into the feature with a winner. Well done.
Definitely, thanks. Cheers.
Patrick Carberry and the Missile Launch, the 4-year-old who's a Goliath, that's for sure. He gets the job done ahead of the 3 Lord Ludlow, who was pretty good, as was the 9 Prying Tom. There were excuses for the favourite Russian River, caught 3 deep throughout, and just as a result couldn't find in the straight. But all honours with the victor, Missile Launch.
Clearly the best horse won. Missile Launch, a stunning performance there in race number 5 at Ascot.